we're going live this morning. We are looking at pre-market movements. I just sold some Microsoft that I bought yesterday, and just a quick hundo. I bought some earlier or yesterday, a few hours before the close. Just kind of felt like it was kind of a retest of that bottom. IGV has been warming up. I saw some pretty good volume on IGV and RSI and price divergence, so it seemed like I could get a quick snap. And then sure enough, in overnight market, it kind of was a tell. It was ripping an overnight market. Anyway, looking at ES right now. I'm gonna get this live stream up. For some reason, my browser. Let's get this up here. Come on. This thing is finicky sometimes. Let's go. Maybe it's just kind of in trouble because I already went live, but let's get this. I should have done that before I started. There we go. Okay, this is what I'm looking at here. All right, let me move that a little bit. Okay, we're gonna open up. Still getting familiar with this whole interface. I've only done this a couple of times, so I need to get familiar with how to kind of manage this while I'm focused on trading. Okay, there we go. All right, and let me know if it looks glitchy or if it's really just terrible looking, or if there's an absolute horrendous delay. Okay, good. It looks good. Moving on. So my first step, and really in the morning, is kind of see where futures are at. Kind of look at the Globex and just kind of test levels out. Looks like we got, just like Asia high and low, London low and high. So looks like ES has some serious gas on it today, looking to kind of maybe hit this resistance here. These are I'm just kind of mapping out basic levels. So when I come back to this chart, I have something to kind of keep my eye on here. This is a specific indicator I was working on the last couple days, that takes every oversold and overbought area and then basically maps it out from its high and its low, and then it maps out these Fibonacci numbers, 0.5 and 0.6 I have highlighted as green when the price is above it, so it can act as a support, or red when it's below it. Right now it's okay. Yeah, here you can see here they start to turn red when they become possible resistances. The price is coming up at it from below. But yeah, it's kind of cool because it maps out. You basically have this market memory right here. All these are just previous supports and resistances, and then their own Fibonacci's. And then on top of that, I have this POC thermometer, which is basically just all the highest concentrations of volume. So I've nerded out on that this week. Okay, so let's take a look at the. This is also something that I do is kind of look at the overall market heat map. Just look at the sectors. They make this bigger. It's a slow process, but honestly, it kind of helps that it's a slow process because that way I'm not just catching falling knives or kind of jumping anything too quick. I like to be patient. I have until about 10 usually before I decide to make a move, especially when I cash out on something early, like today. Pretty much, my goal every day at least make $100. And then if I see something really squirrely, sometimes I'll put that up for a lotto play. And my buddy's calling me. Let's see what he has to say.
Yo, what's going on? How come it's going up?
What's up, dude?
How come the market's going up?
There was a Fed report today that looked pretty good. But I don't know. I'm still kind of deciphering that. Honestly, I'm looking at the market right now. The indexes. I'm like just waking up too. My coffee hasn't even hit yet. I'm trying to figure that out. I sold some Microsoft today. I bought Microsoft yesterday at close, and I sold that this morning.
Can you look at stock for me?
Sure.
You're like, sure, whatever.
No, I'm down. Well, 1 second though. I'm doing like the live trading session thing, but I'm trying to like set it up so I can
okay.
share it on. Trying to share it on like X and all that, and try to get some people. What are you looking at today?
What? I'm trying to catch the peak, but it keeps going up. I just I'll find out the pressure's still right now.
What ticker are you looking at?
I bought Wendy's yesterday because it was down all crazy. Because they're closing restaurants. They had earnings not that long ago, and I was like, it usually goes up when people when they say that they're going to close restaurants.
You're all into those consumer discretionaries, dude.
Yeah, because I don't get all heavy. It's just like right now I'm only at $300, but it's only because they're cheap.
People can see me. This is funny. I'm on X posting about trading live. You can see it on the live.
Oh.
It's just funny. I didn't even realize. This works. Trading League Live Tuesday session. Come by and say hi. Let's do this. Hopefully there was no typos. I'm so I have not woken up yet. But I made some money this morning, so I'm not really tripping. I'm kind of like you. I'm just looking at stuff. So you're looking at Wendy's?
Yeah, I bought some yesterday. It was they're cheap, 6 something.
Oh shit! It gapped up this morning.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out. It's it keeps going up slowly. So I know I'm trying to catch the peak of this.
Okay, I can look at some levels for you. Here, let me open up another tab. Kind of working on a different chart right now. Yeah, let me bring up some technicals here.
Usually I would have sold by now, but I don't know what's going on with the market where it's doing this crazy jump up.
Let me get rid of this
I'm
discount
assuming it's because of that
zones.
Fed.
Let me just bring up. All right, I'm just gonna do a. Hold on, I'm just gonna bring up basic indicators for this because everything I'm working on right now. Get the VWAP going, or no, I'll get the moving averages going. I mean, if you're up 300 bones, then I would probably just take it and then buy on a pullback. That gap's gonna probably fill at least halfway today, I imagine.
Yeah, I just like it keeps going up like incrementally, like slowly, like as we speak right now. So it's like.
Let me check. The biggest thing with those is the volume. You just want to like, if the volume starts tapering off heavy, which it probably will pretty soon. Usually, like after the first hour, it's like the ORB is formed and the IB, like the initial bounds in the open range. Usually, volume kind of tapers off because people are trying to establish the bias for the day.
Yeah.
Wait, is it WEN? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so on a higher, let's look at it on a higher time frame first. Let me look at the daily.
Okay, I'm gonna call it right here. I think that's the peak right there for right now.
Well, let me take a look. It's hitting. Okay, on the daily, it's hitting the 9 moving average. So it crossed over the 21. Oh no, it crossed over the 9 and it's hit at 21. So it might, if it gets rejected right here, it's a continuation signal, downside. If it can pop off over this 21 here, let's change the color of this. I can be certain that's how I got going. 21, yeah. Let's make this orange. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling it right there.
Yeah, I mean it's hitting the 21 moving average on the daily. That's generally like the fact that it's popping up. It's been rejected by that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 times in the last since February started. So, the volume is increasing on it though. So you do have. Let me look on now that we've seen the daily, and the RSI was the lowest. Yeah, so you do have an RSI divergence too. You have the price lower and the RSI is, I mean, it's lower, but it's not as dramatic as the price increase. So this like last little kind of sell off looks like momentum is looking better than it was during this kind of slow lead. You already sell it?
It might go up.
On the 30-minute chart, you're hitting the 200 moving average with volume. Yeah, this gap up came right up to the 200 moving average, which is this white line right here. Sorry, I'm recording this too. Honestly, I would wait for a pullback. This could be good. What you really want to look for is on the daily, if you can see it pass above the 21 and close, like today, if you close above 21, look, it's got some gas behind it. So if you close behind the 21 with volume, it might be a good play to buy a pullback on that.
Yeah, I just sold. I just didn't want to keep watching it all day, and I feel like
I mean, that's the whole thing, dude. If you're up, for me, for me, you know, $100, I'm like, cool, let's do that a few times, call it a day. But
yeah, I'm not even trying to like get back. I was just like, oh, it's pretty deep. It's gonna bounce back by tomorrow.
Yeah, well, good eyes on that. That's a nice little gap up. But it's kind of funny because consumer staples is like cooling off, and then Wendy's pops off for whatever reason. I don't know if they had earnings or something, or but do you know if there's a news catalyst or?
They had earnings like I think last on the 13th, but they just said they're gonna close down a bunch of restaurants, which it didn't pop off. Not even yesterday. It was actually cheap, so I was like, oh, might as well.
We're going out of business. The stock pops off.
Well, no, I mean, there's always like
just funny.
You know,
do people think they get bought out?
Might, like, get bought out by like private equity. But yeah. All right. Well, cool. I'll hit you up later. And then try to look at some other stuff.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. Me too. I'm just sending it on this live thing right now, and gonna look to make like a move later in the day, probably around 10 or 10:30, and then I'm down to go outside a bit. The rain finally stopped.
All right, yeah. I'll shoot you a text. Well, thanks. Check it. I'll take it later.
Yeah, yo, check out. Actually, while you're on the phone, check out the live for me on your phone just to see how if it's running
Did
smooth.
you send me a link to it?
No, you can just go to YouTube. I'm just on YouTube.
Okay, I'll find it right now, and I'll let you know how it looks.
Yeah, hopefully it's not glitching out. I was having some. It's hard to like. It's hard to. I can't tell if this is. Maybe it's because there's like a playback going on, but it's hard to tell if it's glitchy or not. And I hope it's not. But yeah,
I'll
go.
peep right now.
Yeah, will you do it while I have you on the phone?
Yeah, let me see.
It'll just be easier
I'm
I'm gonna like start this over if it's super glitchy. I don't know if I need. Hopefully this doesn't pause the actual thing from recording. But yeah, I'm just trying to reduce how many things on my computer are running so that I can so it doesn't overwhelm my my internet. It's a FinSport HQ. That's I'm looking at
What were the FinSport what?
FinSport HQ. Man, all these videos are coming out about these like robots, these China robots. Have you seen some of these videos?
Mm-mm.
Robotics is just getting nuts right now, but it's kind of funny because I don't know. Sometimes it shows the videos and you can tell it's legit, and then other times I'm like, dude, this could easily be kind of boosted with AI. Like it's so easy to take a clip out of a clip, like especially with these cutscenes, and just have AI basically make the motion more fluid or have it do like a specific action. You can like have video, take a still, make AI do something, edit it seamlessly. It's just really easy to manipulate footage right now, so it's kind of hard to tell what's real and what's not. But it's pretty nuts. Like robotics in general, from last year till right now, is so crazy what they can do.
I can't find it.
It's
YouTube or
it's Fin
Twitter?
FINSP.
It's on Twitter?
No, it's on YouTube.
Okay, because I'm looking at YouTube.
It's FINSPORTHQ. You should be able to find it. It's not like a. Can you find my profile?
Mm-mm.
What?
Send me a.
Are you typing it in right? Here, I can send
I'm
you.
even looking at the channels.
Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, let me send you a link. This needs to. This needs to work. So I can do it on my phone. I can. And I can't. Apparently, I can't go live on premium without premium on. Nice.
On what?
I can't go live on what's it called X without like the premium thing. But I don't know if I'm gonna get that yet until I like kind of build like a little base just of people who are gonna kind of come through and trade in the morning. I had my buddy Chase on here yesterday. It was pretty fun. But it's just funny because I already people already call me kind of like what just happened when you called me just to check out Wendy's. Like whatever. Chase calls me all the time, and he's calling me right now. See, but I need people to jump in these lives, and we can all just kind of like look at it on the lives. If you have your computer, I could have you come on to and stream next to me on it. I have like a little set for that. Did you see? Did you see?
Tail lips. Looking at a chart right now.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of a delay, not by much. Hopefully, I kind of like changed my refresh rate a little bit lower just because yesterday it was like having issues on the super fast one.
Hold up a finger. Are you doing it?
Yeah, I just held up a finger.
I'm looking at the delay. See, oh, there you go. It's maybe like a 5-second delay.
Yeah, it's not terrible. If people are in the chat or something, it's all good. I can still answer it. I had it down to like a 2-second delay, but yesterday was pouring ass rain, so I think it was just messing up my connection. But how does it look as far as like, is it the resolution ass? Like if I zoom in on stuff?
See, oh, looks great. Looks like you're like looking at it.
Yeah. Okay. Sick.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, yeah.
You're gonna be doing this like every day or every other day?
I mean, I do this every morning, so I'm just gonna stream it and yeah, just do my process. I posted like a little intro video yesterday, just talking about what the channel is gonna be about. Like basically, I'm just gonna look for leads and do some analysis, and then have people come on and look at trades and stuff. And I'll be looking at news. Like, see here, are you still watching it?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
I can look at the news
like,
because I have my stream here, so I could be like, oh, you know, French President Macron calls free speech bullshit. So just stuff like that, where I can like kind of come on and look at macro stuff and discuss that with people in the chat too.
Of course, Wendy's goes a little bit more.
Well, yeah. I mean, so did Microsoft, dude. I think Microsoft. Yeah, if I would have held for like 10 more minutes, I think. Let me see. I sold at 27.28, and it went up to 27.50. So 27. I think that would have been like an extra. I think it would be an extra hundo, if not more.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. I don't know. Microsoft right now is such a gamble. Like the bottom on the software sector is just, it's still knifey. Like it's hard to say. You know, there's a serious amount of buying volume. Like Super Bowl week, there was a serious amount of buyers that came in. But dude, it's like sketchy. It can't tell if it wants to retest this bottom down here or if it's gonna really pop off. But
I was looking at the Claw AI thing you sent me yesterday.
Oh yeah, isn't that crazy?
What would be? I understand you can have like an agent that like is just doing shit you want to do 24/7.
Uh-huh.
But what's like aside like from you having a business, what's the point of like just like
Well, I think what it is, it's the potential. So
I'm trying to think like for myself, like what would I use it? Maybe,
well,
like,
dude, it's just for potential. Like right now, you have large language models. Like, sure, you can talk to them, and they can like pull resources from the internet. They can organize information. You know, they can help you learn stuff, right? But right now, with the agentic stuff that's happening, it's anything you can think of. So it's the potential. Like, there's just value in potential. Like for you, for instance, if you just had an idea where you're like, oh, you know what, I do want to make like an AI movie, right? It's like you could have an agent that downloads all the necessary software. Actually, you build a prompt thing for it that it automates for your clips. Like you could have it, you can essentially train it to be like your servant in any way possible. So if you come up with these workflows, it can then do the tasks for you. So, and not to mention like app software development, and any idea that you have, like, I don't know, it can run your calendar, it can answer your emails, it can answer your texts, it can like coordinate, trips for you, whatever. Like there's just actual value because of the potential. Basically, I don't know. Like, the use case for it is very broad, and I think that's why people are realizing that it's kind of nuts.
I mean, it's like if you had like I guess an employee, right? And he's like, all right, well, I'm ready. What do you want me to do? I'll do it. And it's like,
Well, not only
have
that, but
would
not
do
only
it.
that, but an employee that has like very, very good reading comprehension and informational organizational skills. Like as far as it making mistakes, sure, but I'm pretty sure that they can learn too. I don't know if there's like a, I'm pretty sure it's like a memory thing where they're learning too. But yeah, essentially, yeah, it's what it is. It's an employee, and not everybody needs an employee. But even
Yeah,
for me, like it would just be fun to explore the possibilities and be like, what would I want to automate or have it do for me? You know, like even experimentally, you can like there's people who are like just giving it crypto wallets and letting it trade. There's
oh, hell no.
well, not like a significant amount of money, but like you can do it with small
Yeah,
amounts and just be like, I don't know, maybe it'll work. You know, maybe it will make me money on the side. Like you could create an army of them, and you could have them all doing different tasks and communicating with each other too. You could literally like divvy it up by like a hierarchy and have like minions that do certain tasks and certain AI agents like allocate tasks too.
yeah.
It I don't know, dude.
That's, yeah, once it's a big piece of the puzzle, but like once they like widen like the opportunities, like it's gonna be like, oh shit, okay, now I need this shit. But like as of right now, I feel like it's like for like it's very niche for like you know like the tech enthusiast or like just someone who has a business and they go buy the Mac Mini and set it up.
Yeah, I think it's kind of people just now figuring out it's an option, and if it gets widely adopted, and like it's kind of like social media where it's like people get so used to using it and it becomes like normalized and adopted across like everybody's like everyday life and every business integrates with it. It's like
Yeah,
now it's necessary, and you're not competitive and you're not like using technology the right way if you don't do it. It's going to get to that point probably where it's like it's just the norm is that everybody has these agentic AIs that are doing stuff for them. But
yeah. I
it's going
guess
to
you
take
could ask it
time.
to like
It's
do
going to
your
take time.
taxes.
I think what's
Just like,
inter-
hey, go on TurboTax, do my taxes.
oh yeah, exactly. Like it's literally just having like
All
uh,
my documents are here.
yeah, exactly. And I think in the future, obviously, if the models get better and better and better, if they can learn, especially if they can learn on your machine and just get better, it's almost like a maturity thing where you have this agent. It's like it just gets smarter and smarter the longer you use it, and that training data goes back to the people making it. I don't know how they scale it as far as like it getting better and better, but um, I think that right now it's the first time that I've seen like an actual use case, like to me, like a really really valuable use case for like consumers. Because you know how we always joke about like even like during the Super Bowl and stuff, you use these like large language model commercials, and it's kind of like okay, cool, you have an advanced search engine, or you can make stupid videos or stupid photos.
Yeah.
You know, like that's cool for the consumer, but like the amount of infrastructure and money going into it's like, is that really something that's like necessary or like that useful? Like, not really.
For
Like,
the individual, it's kind of like I feel like we're almost there. But for like businesses, it does make sense. Like imagine like you have like a team of like 6 people that just like enter data all day, right? Or do reports or whatnot. Look at spreadsheets. You can replace them with like freaking agents, and then just yeah, game over. More people start losing their jobs. And,
oh yeah, dude, jo- white collar jobs, like
yeah,
anybody who
like
uses a computer
data entry. Yeah,
is gonzo. Like
yeah,
I mean, I think that as far maybe it's I think the code like human oversight is definitely going to be necessary because it's like I don't know, it's going to take a long time before you can trust 100% like automated processes without any oversight. So there's going to be people like kind of babysitting it and like checking in and checking the work, which is I feel like sometimes maybe people are like, why go and check all the work when you could just have a human that knows what they're doing do it?
Yeah.
But the productivity wise, like I don't know. I'm not in that realm, but yeah, I think a lot of jobs are going to be disposable. I think I saw like a video of Elon Musk just talking about it. I mean, I've seen other people talking about it. It's obviously happening already too. With every month, you get these tech companies cutting a lot of labor. But it's happening really quick. I just like didn't expect all of a sudden it was just like viral and it was just all agent AIs on your computer. Everyone can have one, and
Yeah,
then
I kind of missed that train. Like it was like
dude,
2 weeks ago that it started catching on.
yeah. But it was, I honestly didn't. I look at this stuff every single day, and it wasn't until yesterday and the day before that all of a sudden everybody was talking about it.
That the guy went on the podcast and he started talking about Mac Minis and everyone started buying Mac Minis.
Well, that and people start actually creating things with them. So I did see this like a week ago where someone was like implementing it on their computer, but I think now that people are getting results, that's when you start to see it really go viral because then it's like people are like, holy shit, like this actually does this thing that people like it could potentially do. So they're just like, there's, I don't know, it's like there's proof now that it has a lot of potential. But it's kind of cool. I was thinking about, I have an extra computer and I was thinking about trying to set it, if I can get like a cheap free model, almost just like a really bad version of it. I might do that on one of my old PCs because I think the types of tasks that I would want to automate are so minimal. It would be interesting just to see like what it's able to do.
Come in handy.
What's up?
Clash of the Clans or Farmville.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Have it farm your shit all day. Just like, hey, create this fucking net or Sims. You could have it run as like some like crazy games for you.
I would probably use it for. I would probably have like, for instance, I could run screeners all day, or I could run like my charts, right? Like I could have this chart going on, and then I could have. Actually, that's a good idea. Let me open up something. I can have it basically where if there's a signal that shows up for me, that's like a really complex signal, I can have it text me or email me or even, buy something for me. I wouldn't necessarily want to give it my brokerage and stuff, but basically it could just be watching what I'm not, at my computer or anything. And it'd be like, hey, you're, indicator on this screen, send me a screenshot, Yeah. And I could even be like, oh, okay, cool. Like I just got this signal on, Spy. Like send me a screenshot and then update me on what VIX is and then keep me posted if there's another follow-up signal or something. I don't know. You could just like, I think for trading, like there's a lot of potential for it. People are like trying to build like automation stuff, just like actual trading algorithms and things, but I almost feel like it's more useful for me to just have eyes on things, like have it pay attention so I don't have to. Basically just an attention and time saver.
Yeah.
But we could, if you want, we could both set one up and just see what happens.
That'd be cool. Just I'll hit you up. You want to have some coffee right now?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll hit you up after Mark so we can go walk or something.
Yeah. Cool. One other thing, I guess the idea with the robots and the AI is, what companies to look at. Who's gonna really be the winner out of that? I think.
Tesla, right?
I think Tesla for the robot thing. But I was gonna say Apple. Apple actually, I think, went up 3% yesterday or something. But I think as these, I don't know if it's like really that dramatic how many minis they sell and stuff. But this whole agentic AI wave, people talking about Apple is gonna send it. So everyone's talking about it's viral. Oh, get an App Mini. And it's like retailers are gonna see that and be like, oh, I should buy Apple. So I mean, it might be nice to look at and like buy a pullback, or probably not, don't chase if it gets. I'm not gonna chase it, but I think I can do some analysis on it and keep my eye on it, and then if there's a pullback and it looks healthy, it might be a good time to play with it.
Yeah, just I feel like they're doing something over there. Just because I've always been I mean, I started with the Apple phone, but then switched over to like Android, like Samsung and all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's something that they're doing, or like this is the first year that I'm like, dude, I kind of want an iPhone back. I've had like Android and like Samsung and Google like for like 10 plus years. Like I don't know. I just like,
I mean, I like Apple products. I think it makes a lot of sense too if you have all Apple stuff, like all your devices communicate. I mean, they're a product company. I think they were getting like last year. I think they were kind of getting like run over after tariffs. You can see on this chart here, like April, it sat sideways until like August, and I think it was because people were like, "Oh, they're getting shat on by the rest of these mega caps that are like really focused on AI. Like Apple's not doing anything." And then of course tariff uncertainty with China and rare earth minerals and stuff. And then whatever happened in August, it popped off, and crossed over the 200, but I don't know. I think it's gaining traction again, and it's looking more attractive for whatever reason.
what iPhone are they on? They're like on, do you know what number?
I have 17 Pro or 1829.
Okay,
I have no
if
idea.
it's 17, I'll buy the 18. I like the number 18 more.
I mean, if they upgrade the cameras, that's my thing. Is I have the 14 Pro because they haven't really upgraded the camera like hardware since then. It's kind of pointless to me unless they give like a serious hardware update. I'm cool with like not paying a bunch of money just for like new features that I don't use anyway. So, but yeah, Apple. I was gonna say if you look at this chart, it's kind of touching on a trend line, and I mean the 200 isn't that far away from it. Maybe it'll kind of retest this. It does look like you're about to run into 50 on the daily, and if it gets rejected here, maybe it'll retest this trend line again. It would be it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it in the next like couple weeks. You had this run up. It in January 20th, it kind of sold off, and then a little double bottom, and then it ran up to 281, and then you had 0.618, and it consolidated right here on the 0.618. So honestly, it looks kind of good to me. It just crossed back over the 21. Maybe it'll touch the 9 at 269, but the 250 is at 266 and 269. So if it gets rejected here, then who knows? Maybe you get a full gap close to retest this 200. But
What's it at right now? What'd you say?
it's at 265, but the 50 on the daily moving average is at 266 and then 269.
What price would you get it like in a?
Well, honestly, ideally, if I had my eyes on this, I would have bought here when it closed above the 0.618 here at 257. That was like had a double bottom pump pull. Yeah. That's like that was the buyback point.
When we're walking, I was like, I'd get into a Apple like around 260.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like way up there.
Yeah, I'm still looking at Amazon too. A lot of people are super bullish on Amazon, and I am too in the long run. But I really want to see. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I really want to see 190, like basically 190 to like I think it's 184 to 194 was the zone where I was like, dude, I would full send on Amazon if it gets to those prices.
Yeah.
But Amazon, I'm curious to see though now that this agentic thing. So since we're talking about it, the this whole thing happened with the Claude bot stuff, and then immediately Meta comes out with agent thing. It's called like Manus or something.
That's like the new like cash grab. Everyone's gonna start mentioning freaking like their agent. Like honestly.
Well, yeah, but they've been brewing on that. That's like what everyone's been waiting for. But they wait until it goes viral, and then of course they ride the wave.
Dude, once they're on like your phone, if whoever does that, like game over.
They did do that. I reposted something yesterday, I think.
like it's
You can
kind of
turn
like
an old
Siri or
Android.
like a Siri or a Google like assistant, but you can sure just tell it like, hey,
That's
do
what
this.
Manus is. That's the
Really?
idea. Yeah. But
Damn.
also this whole thing we were just talking about with like buying a Mac Mini, I'm pretty sure you could turn your old Android phone into a little AI assistant too now that can do tasks. And with Android, you
Yeah.
can actually install like an operating system on it. You could get like Windows on it. So I think getting like an old, honestly, that's what I was thinking about is I could get an old iPhone or even like an not like the Windows iPads. I don't know what those are, but like a tablet or something. Install like Linux and like Windows on it.
Or just get buy dude I mean it's not a publicly traded company, but it's like a charity, I think.
What?
Raspberry Pis off of freaking Amazon.
What's that?
Raspberry Pis, they're like little mini computers, like the size of like a little phone, and you could plug in like they're customizable. Like you could run, I think, Agent on them too, and they're like $60 or something, or they're cheap. They're, like look it up on Amazon. They're Raspberry Pis, and they're just mini computers. A lot of people use it for like projects or like arcade machines, or just anything that you want to run Linux on. Or
I'm looking at it now. Raspberry Pi,
yeah, like
Windows
yeah.
device. So, yeah, the spec's pretty good. Wait, this is different.
It's yeah, look up Raspberry Pi PI, and then
Oh, okay.
I think they run on Linux, or you could customize it.
This is a device?
Yeah, it's for like the do it yourself kind of like computer
What does it look
enthusiasts,
like?
and you could make a lot of like little cool projects with them.
What does the actual device look like?
It's just like a little like a motherboard or like a little
I'm seeing like a weird little chip.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
it doesn't
is.
have. Oh, some of them don't have housing, is why. Okay, so
Yeah,
this is what it looks like.
then you buy the housing separately, or there's kits available too that have like a little fan.
So it's essentially the mini.
Like, yeah.
Do they make these with a lot of RAM?
Um,
I don't really know what you need
sure.
for the AI thing. But yeah, that's funny.
I have seen people like run AI shit on those, and it works fine.
Huh. Well, I guess the next product that I think after, because like you said, they're doing a whole, everyone's gonna come out with like their Siri with like actionable kind of stuff where it can like do things for you, like kind of like the Manus thing where it's like, oh, have an AI on your phone that can do stuff. I think an iMac Mini or like one of these Raspberry Pi things, like a device that comes pre-installed with the agent that like it almost doesn't even have like a UI like Windows or Mac does. It's more so like maybe it has like a simple UI where you can talk to it, but other than that, just like I don't know. Just the whole point of the device is that it's an agent in a box, kind of preloaded. So you don't have to do all the grunt work of like installing everything. And, I know it's not that technical to probably install these things, but if you could save that process, it's going to be a lot more attractive to like everyday consumers if they don't have to like go and install everything and understand how to get it working. Like it just comes like if you could buy right now a Mac Mini with installed on it, and you're just like, okay, cool. Now I just have this bot and I can tell it to do whatever I want. Like I think that's ideal for most people.
Yeah, that's like if you're gonna like be super serious, like I'm gonna use this for business and I'm gonna like make sure that it like runs great. Like sure, go and get the Mac Mini, but like I think honestly you could probably run it on the Raspberry Pi, like just as an experiment.
Sure, and I have this old computer I got from the recycle center that I might do that and just convert it and just have it basically like I might give it like a crypto wallet and I might have it just do weird stuff for me.
That'd be a good price for like a little like short, something that like does that and like the next morning,
Just
like
gets
they go
rich.
from like $200 to like it's like $1 million somehow. They're just like, what the fuck? And then shady people start looking for him. But yeah, I'll have some coffee and then I'll hit you up after market close. We can go take a stroll.
Cool. Yeah. Sarah's back from the airport at she literally just texted me.
You're gonna pick up.
She just said got to the airport on my way. So she's gonna be here in like an hour or something.
Oh, you better clean.
Yeah, better clean up the house. Yeah, that sounds good, dude. Yeah, yeah, I should clean up and get ready for that. But yeah, good talking to you.
Yeah.
We'll chat
Thanks for the
more.
advice, and then yeah, check out your channel.
Yeah, dude, I'm just gonna stream this stuff.
I'll look up how to reduce the lag because when it comes to trading, yeah, that's it.
Well, most of the trades I'm doing, it's not like scalping or anything. If there's a 5 second delay, I mean, if we're talking about entries too, I'm not going to be like telling people what to do, you know?
Yeah, you're going to want to exit this position in the next 5 seconds.
And or exit it as soon as this, and then it just glitches out. No, I'm not going to be giving people advice. It's just, if anything, it's going to be looking at like potential entries for on like higher time frames, but yeah, dude. Well, it'll be. I can set you up where you can jump in here too.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll holler at you once I talk to Sarah. I don't know what she's got planned today, but we could go hit the hike if you want.
Keep me posted. It's so good. But yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. I'll shoot you a text.
Hey, man. Bye. That was Sandro. Okay, so I'm looking at ES here on the 3 minute, the SPY futures. I look at this usually rather than SPY just because I pay for the data on TradingView, the live data. And what are we doing here? So we're cruising on the 21 moving average. Haven't retested the 9 yet. Or wait, no, we're cruising on 9. We haven't retested the 21. We're about to hit the outer high, which is basically yesterday's high, the same distance between yesterday's midpoint and yesterday's high above that. So it's a pretty key level for me. Usually, especially right now, you can see down here the volume. I'll draw a line. Volume's tapering off. Everything's cooling off a little bit. The bias has been determined. It looks like, if you're a fan of ORB, you got your range established. If we go to 5-minute chart, I can show you what the range is for the ORB here. I always do this. I don't really trade ORB specifically, but here's the ORB range. I know a lot of people do, and so and the levels do make sense. Like I've done some back testing where it's like there's some pretty good results. I mean, the consistency, it's always better paired with Confluence for sure. I wouldn't just I don't trust anything 100%, but if it's like retesting the ORB high or something, and if it's broken above the ORB high and you're looking for a retest, and that retest so happens to be on a VWAP or a key level like the previous day high or a Fibonacci number or a point of control, like sure, if you can stack points of confluence with the ORB, like fantastic. But anyway, those are those levels there. The initial bounds is the first hour, 6:30 to 7:30. So this one, honestly, I feel like to me the high and low first hour is almost more impactful because I don't know what it is, but the creation of that level, I could probably move this over so it's not in the way, just in case we hit these levels again. But we're kind of just cruising right here. I think it's a bullish day. I personally, I don't know what my move is going to be yet for the day. If we pass back down here This is the 5 minute. So the overnight ripped pretty significantly. So if you look at the highs and lows, so yesterday's low, let's say this is the top for now. Like let's pretend this is the top. If we come back down and test yesterday's midpoint here, which lines up with the 0.618 at this moment, I would be interested maybe in like a end of day purchase of I trade SPY U, which is the 4 times leveraged. I don't really do options for SPY unless it leaps. On a really dramatic pullback, I'll buy leaps, but SPY U is cool because SPY U is a 4 times leverage ETF. For instance, right now it's up 3.33%. So, buying, let's say I bought $5,000 worth of that, this morning on this morning's dip. That's 3% of 5,000. 1% is 50, right? So times 3, it's $150 in 2 hours. I mean, that is if you would have caught this, which wouldn't have been that crazy to catch because of, it basically what happened was as soon as the market opened, it went to exactly where the market closed yesterday. This RTH close. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have the previous day close mapped out, and it pulled back right to that level. Previous day close, and it took off from there. So that was a nice pullback. And let's see, the Globex low to the Globex high. I was trying to see if it's lined up to anything, not in particular. But yeah, anyway, as a quick, with the SPY U, I just think it's like if you're only trying to make a couple $100 or whatever, even like $50, doesn't matter. It's just small wins. You can use these leveraged ETNs rather than doing ODTs, as long as you're down to put up the cash, which I'm comfortable with putting up the cash on SPY or any leveraged ETF on good companies. If you become a bag holder, it sucks because of volatility is increased, but it's better than having 100% loss on an option, especially like a short-term one. I mean, buying leaps is another way you could put up. I mean, you could definitely put up $5,000 on leaps for SPY, but I mean the prices of those fluctuate even more than just the large ETFs and ETNs. Anyway, we're looking at ES right now. The general sentiment of the market on a smaller time frame, on the 9 minute. Real estate is oversold. Utilities are oversold. Tech and finance and discretionary is pumping. So risk on is seeing some nice price action. You also have both QQQ, NQ, or I guess let me look at the source code of this. I think I have IWM, SPY, and QQQ. Oh, I should have IWM, SPY, QQQ, IWM. Let me see. Yeah, the Russell 2000. That's the small caps. Yeah, I'll just do ES1 here. Let's try to have, basically this is an aggregate. Each one of these is an aggregate of the RSI of the specific sector Okay, that didn't work. Or did it work? Yeah, it did. So basically it's SPY. I mean, I have QQQ in there, but it's weighted against SPY, ES, and QQQ. But essentially each one of these is 3 ETFs that represent each sector. In this case, the indexes. And they're weighted against their historic extremes in a look back period. So each one of these is saying RSI is 34 collectively between those three, like for real estate, for instance, up here. Okay, let me make these even bigger for you guys because I don't know the screen size on my end is pretty big compared to your phones. But yeah, it just gives me an idea of the sectors, the momentum, and where they're at as far as how it's comparing to their extremes, which I find is really, really useful. Maybe I'll move this over. Okay, well, it's a little blocked off by me, but that's all good. So energy, materials, discretionary, finance, and tech is all looking pretty nice on the short term. And I have these little dots here. You can see these little dots. This shows the momentum where it was before. So basically, it'll show something that's rising or descending because, you know, if you have, let's say I just had these dials here, it's like, okay, cool, that's where they are at. But what's more important is where was it? You know, what direction is the momentum? Is it fading or, you know, is it gaining? So from here, we can see what's cooling, what's heating up. And for instance, if I had something in tech right now, I'm like, oh, you know, tech is like for the day, the historic extremes on this time frame, we're at 84% as far as the distance between 0 and 100 goes in relationship to their extremes. Like 84% is pretty hot. Discretionary is even hotter. So this is not areas I'd be looking for opportunities. Utilities, this is where maybe some dips on utility companies would come in. Like, for instance, I like CED. Come in and see how CEG is doing. Looks like popped off to 310 today. Yeah, popped off to 310 today, and we're at a pullback. So that's the example of how this is useful here. You know, it's like, oh, utilities are down. They're looking kind of saucy now. Like, looks like they cooled off. Sure enough, go check out the name I'm interested in and utilities, and there it is. You have this pump down here, got for 310, 295, came up, hasn't tested any of the fibs yet. Yeah, it's 200 down below. This is on the 5 minute. So if I wanted to get involved in this, the healthy pullback, the buying volume on here was nutty. It was sold into pretty aggressively, but retested this low back here from yesterday and bounced from it. Buyers are still showing up. This was so like cheap for so long, and then they finally caught on that this is kind of like a company that's going to really crush with the AI energy demand, robotics energy demand. But anyway, this gives me the idea for the day. I'm just looking at it throughout the day, and I say, oh, you know, what's kind of gaining momentum or losing momentum. And we can look at it on the daily too, and I can kind of get an overview of the market that way as well. So real estate's been warming up, utility warming up. We've all seen staples got superheated. You can see those are losing steam finally. Finance and tech. I mean, this kind of, you can see this happening on the short term, but this kind of verifies that what's gaining momentum. So we got index gaining momentum, industrials still gaining momentum, discretionary. Health is heating up a little bit, but finance and tech, honestly. So these ones at the bottom here, finance, tech, and discretionary, those are the ones that are catching a little bid. But for the day, to be honest, I don't even know what I'm looking for. I think I've been waiting to do this thing with iBit. I sell some puts on iBit. They have good premiums, and I like this territory it's in at 38. Bitcoin's just been bouncing between like 67 and 71. But I think this is like these swings on this. I mean, I posted about on X, you can check it out, but these iBit puts, the premium, it's like you can make $100 for throwing $4,000 at it, a guaranteed $100, and then worst case scenario, you get assigned $4,000 worth of iBit at these levels. It's not bad, and you can do it every 2 days. So what I'm looking at, not financial advice. Don't listen to me. I'm just saying what I would do or might do, not what you should do. But yeah, I'm kind of liking that. And on the 5-minute, what do we got here? Man, Bitcoin is just ranging hard, but you got the bottom down here at 36. I mean, that would be a pretty sweet, if we can even retest some of these. Let me bring up that script I was working on. This really shows me the levels and where we're at. I call this confluence chain. This is the Fibonacci oversold, overbought Fibonacci ranges with a confluence chain, meaning anything that is passing through connects and shows you the points of interest on these previous ranges, the points of interest, and which one is the closest to the current price. So it's pretty helpful. But that's iBit on the 2 hour. It looks like down here 28. That would be rough. I don't know in terms of Bitcoin where that's at. Let me look at Bitcoin. But yeah, the move today, I mean, Amazon, I'm waiting on an Amazon entrance. I'm waiting, and then iBit pullbacks, I might sell some puts. SPY, I might, if we get a pullback today to the midpoint of yesterday, I might buy some leverage SPY. My Microsoft move today was good. I would bet on a rinse and repeat of that. I still don't know if IGV is ready for a complete reversal. So I guess that's where my head's at. I mean, I'm already kind of back holding a couple things right now, a couple positions. I bought Hood. Let me see. I bought Hood at a pretty good price, but that thing got wrecked. I've always had my eyes on Hood. I was like, oh, if it's sub 100, that'd be cool. And then, sub 100 came around. And then I think I bought mine. I bought a small chunk of leveraged Robinhood. But yeah, I got a pretty decent entry. It's down a little bit. So I keep my eye on that throughout the day. I also finance in general, I feel like just got really kind of slapped last week. I know Robinhood and Coinbase are both exposed to Bitcoin, so that's kind of what's going on with those, I feel like. But finance in general, like I've been a good Visa play. You can see on X, I post the stuff I'm really looking at. But for today, I think other than just observing what's happening with some of these positions I was holding on to, yeah, I think just I have like half my portfolio freed up in cash, so I definitely want to put something somewhere. But if there's no move, there's no move. I think the best case scenario is nothing hits my or worst case scenario is nothing hits me in my levels, and I end up buying some leverage SPY. But this is Bitcoin VWAP right here on the 2 hour. Let's bring it down to the 30-minute. Get an idea of where these ranges are at. Like I was saying, if we can get down here to this, if we can retest 65, honestly 67.04. Man, this selling an iBit put might be the move today. Yeah, we got IBIT hitting 0.618 right now of this previous range of 65,000 and right here 70,000. So retesting this 0.618 range. This is the space between the 0.5 and 6.8 of that range, which I don't know, in my head it's kind of like this shows where seller stepped in, this shows where buyer stepped in. This is the price in the middle. I mean, it kind of makes sense as to why you get these kind of consolidations between those two extremes. You know, the price in between two extremes, like you could argue that's the mean, especially if it's been established like multiple times. Like to me, it's like in my head, it's like, okay, you got all these ranges of extremes. The midpoint right here of all these yellows is just, it's like in this range right here. Like, you know, the fair value or the mean, this is where I expect it to revert to, is this area here. And you can see it spells it out because you can stretch this back and, oops, oh my God. I just want to stretch this left and right, but it's not working. Here we go. You can see, I mean, this is just where that range is. It goes just right in this wave. And you can also see it's kind of getting, so this is the previous price action. Like this is looking in the past. Like this is a memory map where it's looking back in the past. So you can see it's also kind of creating this, it's tightening up. You know, you have these outliers that are outside these ranges, but it's tightening up. So it's coiling. You do the same thing with this. You could just draw, you know, a line between these. Let's see where this triangle is. Looks like it, you know, kind of failed there, but if this is the low, kind of sitting at the bottom end of this triangle, but I don't know, trend lines and all those market structure kind of stuff. I like volume. I like to see volume. I use this POC more so, and from what I can tell, you got these VWAPs. It looks like every time it crosses under these VWAPs, there's 3 important VWAPs right here. Boom, bounces back up. Buyers step in underneath this. Buyers step in underneath this. You got higher low, higher low. Well, this is a higher low. This one is a retest. But yeah, it seems like it really, you know, this VWAP section here is kind of a magnet for the price. Everyone's, I mean, it's a coin toss right now. Everyone's kind of waiting to see, like, oh, is Bitcoin going to fall apart? I mean, I see it as accumulation. I think big players know that some sort of crypto integration, the Clarity Act and stuff, if it gets integrated into our, I don't know, just our, if it becomes mainstream as far as how our economy works, it makes a lot of sense for it to be suppressed and accumulated at the levels that are attractive to big players. So if we see a retest at 60, it might even be worth I might consider buying a leap and just being like, okay, next year, if next year will it be higher than 60,000? You know, and it's like there's a fair chance that yes, it probably will. I mean, that's more than 50% off from the all-time high. But I think I'm not like a Bitcoin specialist, so I don't know all the nuances of what's going on with it on a global scale. But to me, you can tell where people are attracted to price. And that's where I'm going to try to get in and make some quick plays. But anyway, a little bit of a Bitcoin analysis. Basically, what I'm looking at is selling IBIT, short-term IBIT puts, selling them for the premiums at these kind of levels here. If we retest this low, you can see here these VWAPs. This is my VWAP profile, and when these get tight like this, you know, it's like volume compression. So it's just like Bollinger Bands. or the ATR shrinking. You have all these different VWAPs are just tightening up right in this range. Like a big move is coming. You know, for instance, here you can see VWAP tightened up, big move. Look at this one, VWAPs tighten up, big move. It's just that in confluence with other compression signals, like let me see, I can bring it up right here. Let's get rid of these fair value gaps. I built a couple different compression tools here, so I think this is what I'm looking for. If I can mix the VWAP compression with other signals, then this is the ATR. So this one measures ATR, Bollinger Bands, and volume all in one. Basically similar to my other scripts where you're looking at extremes. You're comparing the current state to extremes rather than me having to assess, oh, like the ATR is this, like what does that mean in context? It's like, well, in context to what? In context to where we saw mean reversion in the past due to an extreme. It's kind of like RSI in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, 70 oversold, like overbought, 30 oversold. Sure, that's great, but I'd rather know when did sellers or buyers capitulate and at what levels in the past, and not only in the past but on multiple time frames. That's what I want to know. I want to know, like, you know, sure, you can have a general consensus of like 30 is oversold, but using that as a signal, I would rather know, yeah, 30 is a good one, but this particular ticker on this time frame, you know, on multiple levels, 19 to 24 was the range where buyers stepped in, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's what I have going on with the compression. And it is getting compressed. The ATR is getting compressed, the Bollinger Bands and the volume, and now the VWAP. So this is a 30-minute time frame. If we go to the 3-hour, same scenario. You see this compression happening. Not to mention, like, most of the ranges are up here. It's kind of a crazy gap. But here's another good example. Compression starts here. Obviously, you can see it. VWAP tighten up. Big move. Same here. Lots of compression. That's what these little orange clouds are. As soon as these come in, it anticipates a big move. And it makes sense. Volatility shrinks on several levels, and then a decision has to be made, or boiling point. The bigger the clouds, the longer the compression has been going, which means the longer the energy has been storing up for a big move. You know, so you have this really long compression period, and then it just continues. You know, and then sure enough, at some point it reaches just too tight, and it pops off. And this one here, you could have been watching this and been like, okay, it's still compressing. And then the VWAPs follow, and this volume compression here is like super. I mean, this is like the tightest range that you've had since just forever. So, and then it pops off. Right now in this downtrend, we're sitting underneath all this. Sellers are in control. Usually what happens with this compression at this point is it's like you get popped off, it compresses, and then it's a continuation signal almost, where it's like the compression leads to expansion to the downside, because the buyers still haven't reclaimed any of these VWAPs. They had stayed in control for long. That being said, I think the best area for me today on a daily basis, like, I would really be holding it for 2 days, so I don't really need to. I mean, is Bitcoin going to crash in the next 2 days? I run that risk. That's the whole thing. But what levels would I be attracted to? to send it and be comfortable owning if I get assigned shares. I think honestly, anything under 68,000. I mean, the bottom of this range, ideally, I think that would be the ticket for me. Is kind of like how we were assessing that range a second ago. Like anything under at the low end of that range would be fine. Anything under 68,000, I think I would be fine owning. Of course, it would be in terms of IBIT, so you'd have to convert it to this. So let's see what the bottom of this range is. I mean, basically anything under 37. There's this gap here in IBIT too. I don't know if, I mean, this gap fill, definitely going to keep my eye on that. Looks like momentum's picking up though. You got RSI, like down here, the RSI was so oversold, and then we're still at the same levels and it's picking up. So it's looking good. Volume kind of on the kaputs right here, and then started to pick up again. The volume of this range is terrible. You can see it down here. Just nothing. Just sitting sideways. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at for the IBIT entry. Let's see what else is going on here. RE, I might look at let me get rid of this compression thing. I built a little fair value gap, a quick fair value gap thing, just simple to mix with this VWAP. But let's look at Visa. That's something that I'm interested in. Visa, MasterCard at the moment, since finance is getting beaten down at 320. And I caught this bottom last week, and that was nice. That was a nice move. But yeah, I'm interested in Visa. I don't know what's going on with finance. I think a lot of it has to do with the Bitcoin thing. The Clarity Act and the dollar and all that, but Visa for swing plays. I don't know if any of you guys have traded Visa. It's such a good swing. I mean, look at this. When it's ranging, if you can catch it in a compression period and it's ranging, I mean, look at these swings. This happens all the time. 321, 328, 322, 328. You got a bottom here, 324, 331. It's just, the swings on it are nice. And it honestly gives me confidence in it when it's ranging like this, and when it just sold off. It's like there's always buyers. There's always, it's just one of those ones where it's like people want to own it. I don't know. It's one of those ones where it's almost like if you can find a trend when it's just sitting sideways, so nice. Like look at this. It was riding this VWAP here, just bouncing between 344 and 347. Like doesn't sound like much, but if you're throwing a couple racks at it, or if you're like buying just leaps, just selling and flipping them quick. But yeah, there's something Visa. That's why I'm attracted to Visa. It's just like there's something about it where people are just into it. But let me look at the higher time frame here and really assess what's going on, because I've done analysis on this a few times. It definitely looks like it's wanting to. This is tariff lows here. And I got excited when we hit this 0.618. I've been playing with this all year, but we came up, hit this 0.618 here on Visa. That was a really nice play, and then it just sat in this fat range for what, 4 months, and then finally capitulated to fill this fair value gap down here. So we went 0.618, came back up, kind of failed to break back to test all-time highs, and then wanted to fill that gap, that tariff gap. And honestly, I see this happening a lot right now with tariffs, or the tariff kind of April lows. There's this, such an aggressive buying that there's all these fair value gaps and all these gaps that need to be filled. And slowly but surely, it's like retesting 0.618. We get a nice little pump, and then the next low is either a retest of the lows or the filling those gaps. I mean, the same thing is happening with Amazon right now. That's why I'm interested in Amazon's. It's just this chart, like, doesn't even matter what sector. It's like that same scenario has been happening for so many things. Like, here, I'll prove it to you right now. Oops. Okay, this is Amazon. I have my levels kind of going out. I'll just delete the stuff. Okay. You have tariffs, right? Tariffs come in. Oh no. Sold off April lows, which would have been fantastic purchase. Where's the 0.618? Oh, would you look at that? Right where we are right now. So, do we get a bounce? Retest these VWAPs here at the center point of these POCs. There's these gap downs now that, I want to get filled. We could even come up, fill these gaps to 230, and then a continuation to the downside. But you could have, all I'm saying is that, like, this whole sequence has been playing out with multiple tickers all at different times. You have tariff to the high of last year, down to the 618. They either bounce, and we're at that phase right now where stuff's bouncing off this level, or they have a little bear flag that forms, and then it's a continuation to fill these gaps. And you can see there's gaps in Amazon. You have one here, you have a tiny one here, down here literally at April lows. You have one right here, 173 to 181, and then the most significant one is 193 to 205. So to me, this 193, that's not too far fetched. That's what I'm gonna be waiting for. It's just a quick, maybe we do bounce here. I don't know what the volume's looking at right here, but I'm sure there was buyers. I mean, it's Amazon and they're crushing it. But regardless, the real deal for me would be these gap fills. I mean, 193. Imagine if you would have bought last year at April lows. I mean, that's like a generational entry almost. You know what I mean? And then, look at this. That would have been insane. What a win. And you maybe have a second chance right now at 193. You might, that might be the new area. And obviously it was interesting over here for buyers before the tariffs. This is where, everyone's panic selling. Oh no. And then the first place where buyers stepped in were these ranges. So, and then, we saw further downside after that. But the first continuation of the downside popped off in these ranges up to this VWAP, this yellow VWAP. So we repeat that. Potentially, where's that level? This VWAP right here. So come up, hit 217, pop back down to test that 193. Like, who knows? You could range right here, pop up, pop back down a little bit wider, and compress and onwards. Either way, that's I'll be keeping my eye on that. I wouldn't buy right now. I feel like I missed the window of opportunity. I've been watching this. I mean, even when it hit 200, I was like, oh, 200 already, damn. But, this 196, 195 area, my uncle bought some of that down there. I think he got under 200, but I was saying, at that point, I already kind of acknowledged that I was looking at these 193 levels. And if we look at the previous ranges in the past, is there any correlation between, the lows back here of previous market structure, supports and resistances? I mean, you have 2.5, 2.6 on these rather large ranges, like right here. This is 196 to 185. Like this range itself might be, this is where I would be watching. And then if 193, if that gap fill happens and there's some like kind of liquidity grabs, this is where I would be keeping my eye on. You got a low here at 184, and then 185 is a 0.618 of this larger range, and right here. So those two middle points in these two ranges, like right next to each other, means that these are previous extremes. This is the middle of those extremes. That's something that draws my attention to that range, but I'm okay with being a bag holder on Amazon too. Like that's how I approach all my short-term trades. It's like if I get caught bag holding, I want to be comfortable owning the thing that I went for a quick play. I was wrong. Now I own. Like that's fine. The trick is never putting too much into one thing so that you have some flexibility. You can even do it where you're bag holding, but you still have some liquidity, you still have some cash, and you could even start hedging. You know, if you get really boned on something, you can just hedge against it until it recovers. Got some poison oak right now. It's kind of killing me. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a bag holder with good companies. That's investing. That's what investing is. Bag holding. Being cool with the fluctuations is something that you're confident in for the long term. All right, well, let's look at could bring up some screeners. Maybe I'll take a look and see what time is it. It's 8:30. Been doing this for like an hour. This is kind of the beginning of the morning. Like I said, I usually don't trade till 10, so it might be a good pausing moment. Come back and then do some screeners. Maybe what I could do before I sign off is open up. That's what I'll do. I'll open up my watch lists. I got these VWAP compression watch lists. And we'll just see if anything is in a state of compression. I have quite a few of these here. Oh, you know, no, these are my screeners of, there's a fair value band that flips under the GMA, which is like a percentage-based RSI, or percentage-based moving average kind of thing. Like it's like an RSI. This is, and I have a fair value. Oh, nice. Cool. I have a lot of them. But anyway, let's take a look really quick before I sign off and see if there's any leads on 18 minute. I like 18 minute for intraday stuff. Kind of breaks it into the chunk. I think it's like, I forget how many bars are in the 18 minute. Let me count them. Basically, I like to break the day into thirds. You know, you have your first third, the center third where volume kind of tapers off. The move has been established, and people are just waiting to see what's going to happen. Let me take a look and see any bars there are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 18 minute, it cuts the day into the regular trading hours into a nice third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, I did the math. But anyway, I like looking at those, that time frame for these. I'm going to move these around too now. Just going to move these around so we can see them all at once. Okay. Just before I sign off, we'll look at some leads of stuff that maybe I'll pay attention to, where I can see this. Essentially, this signal is, you have it kind of in this oversold territory, or like, it's not even really necessarily oversold. It's just, the momentum has been bearish, and then you have a switch. So the fair value turns positive while it's in like bearish territory. So that's what I like to see. And when it's on the 18-minute, it's kind of like an intraday thing. So it's more so like, go look at it and then test the top down, higher time frames. After I've established there's a little bit of momentum going on, just look at that momentum. Like bullish momentum has kind of come in. Go look at that in the context. So Microsoft makes sense. I saw that this morning. You got CoreWeave, Snap, Oracle, and as far as ETFs go, XLP. And then on these, you got COR, you got CACI, you got LDOS. So the red and orange triggers on here, it means that the band itself is this is the COR that's a bad sign. It means that it was positive and turned negative. This means like on this trigger bar. Let's look at LDOS so I can kind of explain this signal really fast. Oops, not this one. Look at the trend. So I can show you what this signal represents here. It's this GMA. So each one of those scanners represents this signal. So let me turn to the 18-minute. And if there's anybody in the chat, I would explain it to you. But basically, the signal I'm getting here is this is turning orange. So the orange means incoming bullish flip, and it has to do with taking the curve of the line, and it matches it to historic times when that curve, that exact same curve of the line, has paired up with previous curves before a bullish trigger, before that green trigger comes in. Come on. I don't know what's not loading. Having trouble loading. Come on. Trying to go get this over with here. But yeah, it matches the curve. Kind of gives you a little heads up of, hey, every time that the curve was this exact, every time the line was this exact curvature in the past, it was, a certain amount of bars before a positive trigger. So it just gives me a heads up in that regard of what to look at. For some reason, it's really not wanting to. Let me restart this. I might be having some internet issues. Hopefully the stream hasn't just been glitchy this whole time. Okay. Come on. There it is. So we got red. Here, let's look at it closer. This is the signal that we're looking at in these screeners. Red, orange, yellow, then green. So basically, that's what it's a warning signal. So we just had this green on LDOS. And that's annoying. I don't really want that. Yeah, anyway, every time that this happened, 34 out of 14 times, that's 70%, we saw upside within 7 bars. So that's why I do this 18-minute. Is like this is for an intraday swing. So 7 times 18. $126. So within a few hours, you've seen upside 34 times out of 14, 70%. So I'd kind of be like, okay, well, on this time frame, that's a pretty good percentage. And then we'll start looking at the daily. It's bouncing off this VWAP here. How many times has it bounced off the VWAP? When was the last time I interacted with it? April lows. So this is a significant VWAP. Fair value, right here, that's what this is, a fair value kind of lines. It's like an aggregate of high volume candles and their midpoints. So like where was the participation, and then where's like the average of the participations. So you can see it's pretty good at establishing kind of trend strength. It did switch into this steep sell-off, but and then here you have the signal we're looking for. So right now it's testing this lower range of the GMA, this like band right here. So in the context of the higher time frame, I don't know if I liked that much. You know, for a bounce play, it is hitting this VWAP for the first time. So maybe you get a little bit of buyer stepping in. I don't even really know what LDOS is. I'll have to check. I put it on here. So I must have had a good reason for that in the past. But yeah, on the daily, I don't know. I would probably wait to see what happens with this. But I wouldn't necessarily do a long hold, but for a little swing trade, this is the 12-hour chart. It's probably going to look pretty similar, but you know, is bouncing off this VWAP enough evidence for me? Not necessarily. I'd probably bring in all my other tools and do an analysis of this, but yeah. So we are getting good positive signals in the short term. That's probably why you're seeing that happen. This whole hammer coming in, but not really something I would take a bite in. So that's what I do. I go through all these. So if you've gotten this far in the video, then those are the signals I got on those. I can give you the daily signals I got as well, where the momentum has begun to pick up. I have like, I think 10 of these screeners. So I think there's over 250 companies that I kind of like scan through that are sector specific or industry specific. And then I have ETFs as well that I look at. But let's see what we got here. We got NET, so NED, VST, GRNN, and ABT. We got AVGO, RIVN. We got CED. Those are all the names that are popping up on this little like section here. So that's enough for you guys to go investigate. I'll probably end up, when I come back later in the day, like I said, I usually make trades around 10. I'll probably go through and try to find some leads and stuff. But hopefully this video gives you a good idea of what kind of what we'll be looking at and doing on this this stream. So that if you want to get in here and participate, we can make some moves together and look stuff. And I can answer questions or do some analysis on things you're looking at. Whoa. We can see if this is a scam. It says NFT Jukes. Congratulations, you've been randomly selected as one of our lucky winners. Follow or DM so you can be directed to how to collect your prize funds for your package. Follow or DM. So earlier they was saying they were giving away Bitcoin. Is this real? Oh, what the hell? Full-time agent of NFT giveaway program. Wait a second. This is a scam. Oh, all of you won. That's funny. Yeah, I said done. There was this like Bitcoin giveaway. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I just got super distracted. We'll be looking at news. We'll be looking at analysis. I'll be explaining some indicators. Didn't end up making a move today quite yet. Still looking at Amazon. Still looking at iBit. But yeah, you'll be seeing me make some actual moves on here. And then I'd love to hear what you guys are looking at, what you're using as entry signals, kind of stickers you've had your eyes on, how you use specific indicators and signals. That's always cool. Is I love seeing and talking to people about how they use tools. You know, how are you using moving averages? How are you using the RSI, Bollinger Bands, fair value gaps, Fibonacci's, what have you. Whatever it is that you use, market structure, if you use actual, macro stuff, like what for valuing company valuations, going through people's finances, whatever it is. But all right, I'm going to sign off. Look forward to having more people join in and participate in the future. I'll probably be back on when I actually end up making a trade. But this is a Tuesday sesh, and I made a little bit of money this morning. I'm happy. Hopefully, there's another opportunity before the end of the day. But all right.